planning a trip to Japan, you'll quickly realize that the country's transportation system is unlike anything you've ever experienced before. It's efficient, punctual, and, well, a bit overwhelming at first. But there's a tool that makes getting around a breeze, and that's the IC card. Let's get into everything you need to know. Oh, and stick around until the end, where I'll walk you through how to connect your IC card to your iPhone for seamless, contactless pay throughout Japan. And if you're traveling with the Visa card, be sure to stick around until the end, because there's some really important information I want to share with you about connecting your card to the Suica system on Apple Pay. Oh, and one more thing. If you're an Android user and you don't have a phone that was purchased in Japan, unfortunately, you cannot get a Suica or Pasmo or any other IC card on your phone. The mobile Suica method does not work with Android phones bought in the US or Europe. But if you're only going to be in Japan for a short amount of time, a physical card will be just as useful, so there's no need to sweat it. And you should still watch this video because there's plenty of information that you're not going to want to miss out on when it comes to your IC card. First things first, let's talk about what IC cards actually are. Basically, an IC card is a rechargeable prepaid card that you can use to pay for public transportation, like trains and buses, and even some other things like vending machines and convenience stores. IC cards are incredibly convenient. They allow you to make purchases throughout Japan without winding up with a pocket full of loose change. Here's the other benefit. Normally when you buy a train ticket in Japan, the price of the ticket is decided based on where you get on and get off the train. So every time you ride the train, you have to look up the fare using either a navigation app or using a super map in the train station to see how much you have to pay. Can you imagine having to do that every time in these crazy crowds? There has to be a quicker way. Well, that's where the transportation rechargeable prepaid cards come into the rescue. Now you don't have to buy tickets every time you get on the train, subways, or buses. You just need to touch the card on the readers at the ticket gates when you come in or go out of the station or come onto the bus or get off of the bus, and the fare will automatically be deducted from your card. The only thing you need to care about is to make sure you have enough money on your card for your trip. Each major area in Japan has its own rechargeable transport card, or IC card. What's great is all these major cards are compatible with each other. So, for example, if you buy a Suica card in Tokyo, but you're later traveling to Osaka, you can still use the Suica on public transportation there in Osaka. In Tokyo, there are actually two cards available, the Suica and Pasmo. They're made by different companies, but long story short, the cards are almost identical and they cover the same train lines and areas. As you can see, there are multiple other different railway companies that issue IC cards throughout the country, but the Suica card is the most widely used, and that's the one that we'll cover today. But if you do happen to pick up a Pasmo or a Pasmo passport card, most of the information that we'll discuss today still applies and it'll operate just the same. The cards differ mainly on where they can be purchased and refunded. Most people will want to purchase the card available in the first place they visit. So for example, the Suica or Pasmo in Tokyo, or the Icoca card in Kyoto or Osaka. If you load a digital card onto your mobile phone, then you have the choice of the Icoca, Pasmo, or Suica, regardless of your geographical location. So just so it's clear, you can use your Suica card in Tokyo and Osaka too. Or if you land in Osaka and purchase an Icoca card, you can use that in Kyoto or Tokyo as well. They're all conveniently interchangeable, and you can use any of the cards anywhere you see this IC icon. You can think of an IC card as a magic pass that makes getting around Japan a whole lot easier. There are a few different Suica cards to choose from. First is the regular Suica card. It'll show up in the Suica machine as the name inscribed Suica option. The good thing about the name inscribed card is that if you happen to lose your Suica card that has your name on it, you'll be easily identified through the system and the money on it will be returned to you. You're basically registering the card. Next, there's a blank Suica card. Now this one is perfect if you want a hassle-free purchase process. Unlike the regular Suica, you won't get compensated if you lose this card, but it's super easy to buy and it doesn't require a name or any personal information to be placed on the card. And finally, we have the Welcome Suica card. Keep in mind that the Welcome Suica card is only valid for 28 days, which makes it perfect for short-term visitors. There's currently no deposit required for these cards, so the amount that you put on will be the entire amount that you can use for purchases. You can then either use cash or credit card to pay for your Welcome Suica. When you get it out of the ticket machine, you'll also get a reference paper which will show you the date when the 28-day validity period ends. But just keep in mind that on day 29 it will become invalid automatically, regardless of the remaining balance that you still have on the card. On the other hand, the normal Suica card only becomes invalid if you don't use it at all in 10 years. And no matter the amount that you have on the Welcome Suica card at any point, it can't be refunded. It's a non-refundable card, so you have to make sure you use up all the money on the card before the day that's on your receipt. And there are actually two different rechargeable cards made especially for tourists, the Welcome Suica and the Pasmo Passport. They're basically the same, and neither of the cards have a 500 yen deposit requirement. However, the Pasmo Passport price is a standard fare of 1,500 yen, which will go towards your spending amount. With the current semiconductor shortage as of April 2024, the Welcome Suica can only be found at the JR East Travel Service Center or the Welcome Suica vending machine in the Haneda Airport Terminal 3 Tokyo Monorail Station. Also, only one Welcome Suica will be sold per person since there's a shortage. However, there are multiple locations that have the Pasmo Passport available, including Haneda Airport, Narita Airport, and locations throughout the city. I'll leave the link in the description so you can check all the availability locations. And be sure to pay close attention to the times that are listed on the website. If you have a super early or super late flight, consider either loading the IC card on your iPhone or simply waiting until the next day to purchase a Pasmo Passport at one of the train station locations in the city. Or you can always just buy a single paper train ticket into the city instead of using an IC card for the time being. It's the same thing. If you're landing in Narita Airport, the Welcome Suica is not going to be available there for you, but the Pasmo Passport is still a great option, and it has lots of discounts included in your purchase, whereas the Welcome Suica does not have any. For charging these tourist cards, you can either use the machines at the train stations, or you can recharge them at 7-Eleven ATMs or at the counter. Do be aware though, while you can use a credit card for purchasing the card at the station machines, for recharging, you can only use cash. This is the same for the regular Suica card. You can only recharge the physical cards with cash at the station machines. So if you have an iPhone and you want to top up with a credit card, the digital Suica is a better way to go. Or you can use your credit card at the station offices. If you're traveling in Japan with youngsters, it's definitely worth getting a children's Suica card. This is because the fares for children aged 6 to 11 are half the price of adults. You'll need to provide proof of the child's age if you purchase a train card at a station office, so make sure to bring some ID along. In Japan, children under 6 can generally travel on the trains for free as long as there are only 2 of them per adult. The third child under 6 will be charged a child's fare. When passing through the ticket gates, simply scan your own IC card and walk through together. While the odds of being asked are low, it's worth carrying a proof of age document like a passport to avoid any awkward conversations with the train and metro staff. At Narita and Haneda airports, Welcome Suica ticket vending machines, you can buy the Welcome Suica for children without the need for age verification with a passport. And here's a fun fact. Suica stands for Super Urban Intelligent Card. And there's also some creative wordplay going on because Sui is a Japanese onomatopoeia for gliding smoothly. And that's why the mascot is a penguin. Cute, right? While we're taking this quick break, please also take the time to like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. I've started creating more and more videos specifically for travelers who are in the process of planning their trip to Japan or even just dreaming up a trip. I have lots more to come. IC cards can be recharged at ticket machines and special recharging machines found in strategically meaningful locations throughout the country. They can also be recharged at stations of companies other than the issuing company. So for example, Suica cards can also be recharged in Osaka even though you didn't purchase it there. Many convenience stores will also allow IC cards to be recharged at the cashier, but the maximum amount to be charged on a card is 20,000 yen or around $130 US. Within the train station, use any of the pink or black machines to recharge your card. Just place your card on the machine, select the amount you want to charge, and insert your cash. It's that simple. And stay tuned. In a short while, I'll show you how to put the card on your phone so that you can recharge it with money from your Apple Wallet digital credit card. And if you're traveling from abroad and have some leftover foreign currency, you can use the Pocket Change service to charge your Suica card as well. This cool little service is available at Tokyo Station and a few other locations, and it's a great way to use up any extra currency before heading home. I'll place a link in the description so you can find other locations than at Tokyo Station where the service is offered as well. And if you ever need to know how much is on your Suica card, the current credit balance is shown on a small display whenever you pass a ticket gate or make a payment. If you're anything like me, you'll probably want to keep your IC card as a special souvenir and not even worry about getting the 500 yen deposit back, which is totally okay to do. But if you do want your deposit back, you'll need to return your card to a train station. If you got the Suica from a JR East train station, you can return it to any JR East train station. If you buy a Pasmo, you can return it at subway stations or other non-JR stations. Just remember that Suica has to be returned to a JR East station, and Pasmo cannot be returned at a JRE station. They're just produced by 2 totally separate railway companies, so where you return them does matter. And also keep in mind that the Welcome Suica and Pasmo passport don't need to be returned because there's no deposit when you first purchased it. And don't forget that Suica cards can also be returned at Narita Airport or Haneda Airport. If you're at Narita Airport, you can use one of the convenient refund machines to process it there instead. And if you register the Suica with your name on it, you may need to fill out a little bit of paperwork when you return it. When purchasing the Suica card, you'll be asked to pay a 500 yen deposit, and this deposit will be refunded if you return the card before leaving Japan. However, if there's a remaining balance on your card, a 220 yen handling fee will be deducted from your Suica card balance when returning the card. If you know you're going to try to get your deposit back, try to reduce your remaining balance as much as possible, such as at a convenience store before requesting your refund. There won't be a fee if your remaining balance is less than 220 yen. And one last quick note is that IC cards can be returned only to the issuing company. So for example, it's not possible to return a Suica card in Osaka or an Ikoka card in Tokyo. Using IC cards for transportation is super easy. When entering a train station, simply tap your card on the card reader at the automatic ticket gate. When you reach your destination, you'll tap your card again on the reader at the exit gate, and the correct fare will automatically be deducted. And I'll remind you again, each traveler needs their own IC card. You can't share one card among multiple people or tap each person in on one card. If you've just completed a trip and on exiting the station you discover that you don't have enough money on your card to cover the fare, there are fare adjustment machines, which are usually just inside the ticket gates, where you can recharge your card in the same way. When riding buses, card readers are either placed at the entrance or exit of the bus. If it's a flat fee bus, you just tap your Suica card once when you exit the bus. However, if the bus has a fare board display, you'll need to tap it when you get on as well as when you get off. The great thing is that some taxis in Japan are beginning to accept IC cards, which makes it even more convenient to get around town. They're not in all taxis though, so be sure to ask or look for the IC icon on the window, or even gesture to the driver before you get in your ride to find out if it's available, if that's your preferred method of payment. Now you know about what IC cards, and you've probably heard of the JR Pass. But what's the difference and which one should you choose? Let's break it down. Like we've discussed, IC cards like Suica and Pasmo are prepaid rechargeable cards that can be used on trains, buses, and even in convenience stores across Japan. They're super convenient for daily travel within cities. You just tap and go, making them perfect for short distances or if you're staying within one city. On the other hand, the JR Pass is a special pass that's available only to tourists. It offers unlimited travel on JR trains for a set period of time, like 1 week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. It's your golden ticket if you plan to travel between multiple cities in Japan. It can save you a lot of money on long distance train rides, especially on the Shinkansen or bullet trains. So if you're hopping from Tokyo to Kyoto and Hiroshima and then back up to Hokkaido, the JR Pass might be the way to go. But if you're spending a week staying in and exploring every corner of Tokyo, then an IC card or even a Tokyo Unlimited subway and bus pass might be all you need. If you're doing a combination of all the locations, consider purchasing both the JR Pass and an IC card. But if you have any questions about the combinations for the transportation passes, or if you're confused about which one might be the best for your trip, just drop a comment below and I'll be happy to help you sort it out. And remember, the JR Pass needs to be purchased before you arrive in Japan, while IC cards can be bought at any train station while you're there. You can use IC cards to make almost any small purchase in Japan as long as the place that you're using it has an IC card reader. Here are some places you can use your IC card. But you'll still need to carry cash with you in Japan because not all shops, restaurants, or taxis accept IC cards. And you'll find a lot of little ramen shops around town that require you to place cash in a vending machine in order to pay for your meal. Those vending machines don't accept IC cards. When it's time to return your IC card for a refund, the easiest way to use up your Suica card balance is to use it as a payment method when shopping at convenience stores. All you have to do is tell the shop clerk that you'll use a Suica card as a payment method. Under normal circumstances, you'll be able to pay with your Suica card if your balance is higher than the total price of the items that you purchase. When the balance isn't enough, you can either change your payment method or recharge your card before paying. But you can still actually pay with your card if you want to. All you have to do is tell the shop clerk that you want to pay with your card by saying Maza Suica Damasu, which allows you to pay your items partially with the remaining balance. Your Suica card balance will be deducted to zero, and then the remaining can be paid in cash. If you don't want to worry about trying to find a physical IC card, you can load a digital IC card into your Apple Wallet on your phone. It's quick and easy. If you have an iPhone with an American Express or MasterCard linked to your Apple Wallet, you can install a digital Suica or Pasmo card, which works exactly like a physical Suica or Pasmo. If you have a Visa card that you want to use with your mobile Suica, there's another way to connect it. Just stay tuned and I'll go over it with you shortly. Remember, if any of these mobile methods fail for you for any reason, there's always the physical card. This is simply an added layer of convenience to have it on your phone. And the digital version of the Suica card follows the same rules as the physical card. It doesn't expire for 10 years. And when you load the money on the card, you can use it immediately, just like the regular pass. To load the Suica card on your phone, simply go to your Apple Wallet and hit the plus button in the top right-hand corner. Here you'll have the option to add a debit card or credit card or travel card. Select travel card and search for Suica. You can also search for a Pasmo or iCoca card and load it here if that's your preference. We're going to set up a new card instead of transferring from an old card. From here you'll need to have a credit card loaded in your Apple Pay wallet that can be used to add funds to your IC card. And that's it. You're all set to go with your new card. And this can be done without changing your iPhone region, so you won't have to change it to Japan if you're just visiting. Alternatively, if you already have a physical Suica, you can transfer it and your existing balance into your Apple Wallet. To do this, after you hit Suica in the procedure above, tap Transfer Existing Card. You'll be asked for your date of birth and the last 4 digits of your Suica card number. Fill that in and then tap your phone against the physical Suica card. It'll load all by itself. Once done, your card and its existing balance will be loaded into your Apple Wallet and it'll be ready for use. But be careful though, once complete, your physical card will no longer work, so be certain that you won't need it going forward. If you don't need your physical card anymore, you can turn it into a JR counter and get your 500 yen deposit back. To top up your Suica card in your Apple Wallet, you'll need a linked credit card or prepaid card in the Wallet app. Tap your Suica card in the app and hit Add Money. You'll choose how much you want to top up, and then you'll be given the choice of which card in your wallet you want to use for the top up. The money does come from your credit card that's linked to your Apple Wallet, and you can easily recharge it just by clicking the Add Money button. Don't worry, this pass doesn't expire, so the money will stay on your card indefinitely. But keep in mind that you currently cannot refund the money loaded onto a digital Suica card. The Welcome Suica and Pasmo Passport are not available in the Apple Wallet. And plus, if you're adding a full regular IC card to your Apple Wallet, you don't need a regular physical Suica card or a Welcome Suica or Pasmo Passport physical card. You only need one IC card of any kind per person. And I want to reiterate that you can't get a refund on your IC card in the Apple Wallet, so be careful not to recharge too much before your trip ends. Now, if you have a Visa card, you likely received a payment not complete error in the last stage where we were adding funds to the IC card. There's still issues with connecting to the mobile Suica with non-Japanese Visa cards, but there is a workaround. First, go to your App Store on your iPhone and search for the Suica app. If the app isn't available in your App Store, you might need to change your region to Japan on the phone temporarily or use a VPN to connect. But if it is there, go ahead and download it. Now, unfortunately, this app is only in Japanese, and Japan Rail hasn't translated it yet, but I'll take you through the necessary screens and translate. To add a card to the app, tap the plus symbol in the right-hand corner of the screen. There are 3 options available: a Suica that's registered with your name on it, like the name inscribed card that we discussed earlier, a travel pass, or a simple unregistered Suica card. We're going to pick the one furthest to the right and press the green button to issue the card. Here's a warning to let you know that you've selected an unregistered Suica card and you'll have limited support, including refunds in the event of any issues or loss of a card. If you're okay with this, select the top right green text, which means next, and select the option to the right to agree with the Suica terms of use. And of course, when you're registering your own card, you can always select the registered card with your name on it. Now we'll need to add some funds or top up our card. On this screen, you're going to be asked the charge amount. Click the green text on the right and select your amount. There's a minimum amount of 1,000 yen. Select the amount you want to add and then click on the Apple Pay button to pay. And now you can authorize the payment using an international Visa credit card. And there you go, you've created a card in your Apple Wallet. You can also connect the card to your Apple Watch if you want to as well. This next screen says that the issuing of the Suica card is complete. Tap OK, and you'll have a new card added to your Suica app with the amount that you added to the card. And it's also available in the Wallet app. If you want to add money to your card using a Visa, open the Suica app and select the option to charge your Suica, which is the green button in the middle bottom. There are two options to charge it. One through the app, which is on the option on the left, and one through the wallet, which is on the right. But the one through the wallet doesn't work with the Visa, which is why we're going through this process. So we'll choose the option on the left to charge through the app. Now, this is where there are a few extra steps to pay attention to. The Suica app requires you to register to be able to charge through the app. So select the green button at the bottom for account registration. You'll need to read through the terms of use, and you can click on the first one and scroll all the way down to the bottom and select the green text in the top right to accept the terms. Then select the remaining document and do the same. Select the green text in the top right. And here's where you'll register your email address that can receive a confirmation code. Check your email to enter in the confirmation code, and then click the text at the top right to confirm. To complete the registration, you'll need to add in some details. First, you need to select a password. You'll need an 8 to 20 character password with an uppercase, lowercase, number, and 2 mixed symbols. Then you'll need to enter your last name, your first name, and your birth date with the year, the month, and the days. And then you'll enter your gender. And then you'll enter your postcode, and then finally a phone number. For the postcode field, add the location of the hotel you'll be staying in on your first night. For the last and first name, try either using katana characters by looking them up in the Google Translate app, or try all capital letters. Either one should work. When you're done, select the green text to finish in the top right-hand corner. Select OK, and then you'll return to the main Suica app screen. We're almost there, so don't worry. Select the green button to top up your card, and then select the amount that you want to add. You can select the bottom right button for more charging options. 500 yen is the minimum amount. And then click the Apple Pay button and follow the payment order authorization prompts. And the great news is that this is going to work with an international Visa card from now on. You'll see the balance update, and you'll now be able to top up with this method anytime. Now, the one question that you might want to check with your bank about is whether you'll incur processing fees each time you add money to your IC card using your Apple Pay method. The likely answer is that you will, since it's considered a transaction. But it may also depend on whether your phone is registering it as a foreign transaction or a domestic transaction based on the network that you're on. Be sure to check on that with your bank. But if you don't want to incur any fees at all, be sure to check out my Japan Money Tips video that's linked below. There are lots of little known tips and tricks for saving money on your Japan trip and avoiding those pesky foreign transaction fees. You definitely want to check that one out next. You can also use the kiosk in the station to charge your card using cash. Kiosks that support phones or watches are best identified through the flashing purple lights. Simply rest your phone onto the sensor and wait for the device to be recognized. Follow the prompts and select the desired credit, and the machine will charge the card itself. Now that you know the 2 ways to register your Suica card on your iPhone, it's important to know that if you register your card through the Apple Wallet, it's a lot faster, but your card won't have a registration number. But if you register through the Suica app, the card will have a number. Here's how that number comes in handy. First, when your card has a number, you can accumulate points on your card that can be used as money to pay at shops within the JR East network. And the second benefit is the ability to link your IC card with Shinkansen tickets. That way you don't need to print out your Shinkansen tickets every time you're going to take the train. You can just use your Suica card on your phone and tap it at the Shinkansen ticket gate to get through. But first you'll have to connect the Shinkansen ticket that you purchase online to your Suica card. And note that when you tap your card for the Shinkansen, your fare is not being subtracted from your IC card's balance. You've already paid for the ticket online. The convenience comes in being able to tap and go, and not from being able to pay for the ride directly from your IC card. Here's how you connect your Suica card to your Shinkansen ticket. On the back of your physical IC card, there should be a card number. You'll need to register that number to your Shinkansen tickets. And you can also buy a ticket at the Shinkansen counter and ask one of the staff members to connect it for you. To link your IC card yourself, you can purchase a digital Shinkansen ticket online on the SmartX website and link your IC card to the ticket that you purchased. I want to give credit to the One Good Dream YouTube channel for this walkthrough. I'll share the link for the SmartX website to purchase your Shinkansen ticket in the description below. This walkthrough is an example from the SmartX iPhone app. SmartX is the official JR website for Shinkansen trains going in the Tokyo to Kyoto to Osaka direction. Once you've registered your ticket, you'll see a button that says Designate IC Card. This is where you can link each of your individual Shinkansen tickets to an IC card. In this example, there are 3 tickets that have been purchased, and each of them are ready to be linked to an individual IC card. Let's select the second ticket and assign an IC card to it. And this is where you're going to enter the IC card number that was on the back of your physical card and give the card a nickname so that you can keep track of all of them. And that's it. It's that simple. And now you're ready to breeze through Japan with your cashless payment IC card. Even if you can't link the Shinkansen tickets to your Suica card, you can still reserve the Shinkansen tickets online early to get a discount. You'll just print out the Shinkansen tickets right at the Shinkansen station before boarding your train. It only takes a few seconds using a QR code that you'll get after purchasing your ticket online. I'll leave the link to the website to purchase your discounted tickets below. And just remember, when you're using the Suica card on your iPhone to pass through the ticket gate, your phone has to be on. It won't work if your phone's not turned on, so be sure that your phone is always charged and ready to go. And down below in the description, I'll leave a link to my favorite portable charger that I swear by that will keep your phone charged throughout your trip. And also be aware that whenever you tap your phone on any IC sensor, your Apple Wallet will register the entry, even if the app is not up and open. So be sure to turn on your notifications for the app so that you can keep track of your transactions. Now, if all of this is just too confusing, or you just want to go the old school way, don't worry, you don't need an IC card to get around town. Japan is one of the world's most cash-friendly societies, and you can use Japanese yen anywhere to buy single paper tickets. But as you can see, IC cards like Suica are a real added bonus for anyone visiting Japan. They make navigating the country's transportation system a breeze, and they can also be used for many small purchases, saving you the hassle of carrying a lot of cash around. So now you know how to make the most of your IC card and traveling throughout Japan. You don't want to miss this next video. I'll see you there.